You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Welcome
Hello.
back to this very spooky episode of Code Rad. Hello, Jim.
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. Nice to see you again.
Good to see
We
you.
have picked out a couple of special Halloween shows to talk about this week. Right now is middle of October, and I thought, keeping in tradition of watching British, Japanese TV shows, I chose Hammer House of Horror, a one-season horror anthology series that aired on ITV in 1980. Many of the episodes had titles that seemed appropriate for Halloween, and so I just went with the premiere episode, The Witching Time. Sounded perfect. And wow, this was a show that definitely I should have looked this up. What do they call it in England? Is it the watershed? The time when you're allowed to show naughty stuff?
It might be. I'm not sure. Maybe
Yeah, I forget. But yeah,
No.
this show definitely did not air during tea time.
No.
Yeah, first scene has boobs and some more boobs later on. So they're not messing around with this show. One thing that struck me from the very first scene, this is Hammer House of Horror. You know, of course, a 1980s attempt to continue the legendary horror film studio that began in the 50s with, you know, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing doing Dracula and Frankenstein, which, of course, the early Hammer stuff was, you know, very Victorian horror, you know, ladies running around castles in, you know, silk negligees, you know, horrible monsters like Christopher Lee as Dracula. And then, you know, over the years, you know, as we moved into the 60s, horror, and especially the 70s, horror kind of became more Night of the Living Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween. And so then, so now in 1980, when we get Hammer again, I feel like the opening scene pretty much echoes the opening scene from Halloween very well.
Yes, I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, The Witching Time opens up with a scene of a woman with, I forget exactly what she's wearing, but she's not wearing much from the waist up, and she's being stalked by someone, and
yes.
you're seeing through the eye of the stalker, whoever it is who's creeping up behind her as she's sitting at her mirror. The scene is played out just like Halloween. So I thought that was kind of, that was interesting that we went from the gothic Victorian sort of horror to the more brutal suburban horror of Texas Chainsaw and Halloween. And now Hammer kind of came around to that. We're in the rural English countryside. We have a film composer living in a farm out in the sticks. And wouldn't you know it, a witch comes to visit him from the 1700s, 1800s. I think 1700s. That's when burning witches was all the craze.
Yeah, they were going to burn her, and she got away somehow, time slip, or somehow jumped into the future.
Yeah, to escape being burned on the stake, she slipped into the future, which calls back to something else of interest to the Code Rad show. Catweasel, of course. Also about a wizard who, while escaping from being killed, jumps into the future. It seems like, you know, British television is obsessed with wizards and witches coming to the modern day. And unfortunately, Lucinda the Witch is not as friendly as Catweasel or funny.
No.
But she does have her own special charms.
She's not boring, I'll give her that.
Not boring at all, yeah. Our main character, he's a film composer, lives in this ancient farmhouse, which happened to be old enough to be the site of, I mean, I think Lucinda lived there. That's where she was going to be executed, burned to death as a witch, and she jumps to the present, 1980, and basically haunts this guy. Makes a neat little psychological episode of, is he crazy? Is he losing his mind? Is he just really upset because his wife is cheating on him? He's got a psychologist. Maybe, you always have to be wary of psychologists in a show like this. Is he messing with our main character's mind? And a great performance by someone I did not realize at all who she was until I brushed up on the episode. Patricia Quinn played Magenta in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, I think, yes, that's right. I read up on her too. She's actually from Northern Ireland. So I thought that
is she Irish?
Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was very cool. See, I was like, yay.
Fantastic performance, real steam sealer.
Now, when I first hear her speak, I thought she was American, but no, she's Irish. But I wasn't sure she's a good American accent first. But because I guess she got plucked from maybe Salem, or I guess the witch trials probably were held in Britain too.
Oh yeah. They started. I think they started in Europe. I think they were real big in Germany.
Oh, okay.
And they definitely happened in England as well as New England in the colonies. So our witch seduces our main character, of course, and then drops a headless bird in his bed. A voodoo doll is involved in this. And the bird is still alive after she does something with the head. We don't see what she did to the poor bird's head, but the bird doesn't die even after our poor people try to dispose of the body. Wings keep on flapping. Some people, I think you can call this psychological horror, but there's enough things that happen in this to strongly suggest that the witch is real. And I think that's about all I want to say. I highly recommend this. This is very nice Halloween viewing. It's perfect for this time of year. It was pretty creepy. Compare the last program I talked about, Sky, was also ITV, and also about some mystical character thrown out, who gets displaced in time. I can't believe I almost forgot to mention that. I only watched the first 2 episodes of Sky. I wouldn't say he's necessarily a witch or a wizard, but he is some kind of mystical creature who is moving around in time somehow. So I guess that is a popular, in America, we have doctor shows and lawyer shows. I guess in England, they like watching witches and wizards who time travel.
Yeah, they love their time travel. That's for sure. Doctor Who, and with H.G. Wells, The Time Machine. He was English. So
Sure,
they just love their time hopping. We're gonna pluck this character from Puritan times and just gonna drop him off in 1970s or 80s in London.
Yeah, I mean, if I recall correctly, Catweasel happened about 1970. Witching Time happened in 1980, and Sky was like somewhere right in between. So maybe the 70s were just the time traveling witch decade for English television. And the last thing I'll say is that Sky, the show Sky on ITV, looked very low budget, shot on video, even though it was very stylish and cool in some ways. Hammer, you could tell, had a way bigger budget, looks way more cinematic, much more like, say, for me, the Prisoner might be the gold standard for all of television, not even just English television, just for great production value, set design, and all that. And I would say Witching Time is pretty close to The Prisoner, much more so than Sky. And so I believe you also watched something spooky for Halloween.
Yes, indeed. Here we have A.G. Subaraya. So what I watched was an episode of Ultra Q called Baron Spider. Let me just kind of go through my my slides here. So there was A.G. Subaraya, who unfortunately I believe died in 1970, I believe.
Oh, really? That long
He
ago?
did. Yeah, he did. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. So basically in Japan, the two shows that were the inspiration for Ultra Q were,
Mm,
as we see here, the Twilight Zone, or known in Japan as Mystery Zone.
mm,
So we have in the bottom in red, we
awesome.
have Mystery Zone. So yeah, so um I think that's a shot of the Japanese laser disc there. And also
Oh, cool.
another inspiration was the Outer Limits. I couldn't really find anything visual representing the
Mm,
Japanese version of Outer
yeah, too
Limits. So I just
bad.
figured, well, no, that'll do.
Yeah.
Let's see. So the original name he wanted to give the series was going to be just called simply Unbalance.
Right, yeah.
Um, but since during the 1964 Olympics, the Japanese gymnast team, see right there, I didn't know this apparently. So you were judged by the maneuvers you did,
Yeah.
and it was A for the the easiest, and C were the most difficult maneuvers. So
Yes.
I think when they said how are you gonna how what's your strategy, they said Ultra
Hmm.
C. So we're gonna go beyond what's
Right.
expected of us, and I think they actually won the gold medals that year. Let's see.
Yes.
So, oops, bear with me a minute. So he decided, okay, well, I'm going to take the word ultra that
Hmm.
was in the consciousness of so many Japanese folks at the time and call it
Yeah, it was a
Ultra
very
Q.
trendy word
Yeah, it was.
during
Yeah,
that
it
era.
was.
Yeah.
And going to call it Ultra Q, and the Q apparently stands for question.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's very similar to the Outer Limits, and a lot of just basically mysterious things are happening in Japan that have to do with supernatural beings and monsters. Let's see which. Here we have our main three characters. We have on the left Yuriko, played by uh, Hiroko Sakurai, who would become Fuji later in Ultraman. The gentleman in the middle, I believe, is Kenshi Sahara, who played
Yeah.
June, a pilot. And on the end, we have Yasuhiko Saijo, who played a character called Ipe, another pilot. And basically, these three would kind of just explore, I guess, kind of the X Files. They would kind of just investigate strange happenings um, that were afoot in Japan,
Hmm.
having to deal with supernatural and monsters. Um, so this episode, that was a word I didn't know. Kumo, that's Daishaku, which or Densaku, which means barren, which I did not know that word.
Yeah.
So barren spider. Now, yeah, and there's one right. I have to admit, when I saw, the first when we see the spiders, for the first time, they kind of just come out of nowhere.
Hmm.
They attack a poor guy in a lighthouse and kill him, and I kind of
Yeah.
jumped a little bit. I know it's a puppet, but
Yeah.
still, it's still kind of. I think generally people just don't really like spiders. I think people are just really freaked out by them. I know, I am. They're not as I don't know, cute and
Nah.
cuddly as other animals out there.
No. Spiders never bothered me. I mean, I wouldn't want to cuddle one. I mean, maybe because I
No.
grew up going to summer camp, was outdoors with the frogs and snakes and many spiders. So, yeah, as long as they're not poisonous, they never really bothered me.
Well, I just don't really. I don't know if you've seen them like close or blown up, but they just don't look. They just
Nah.
look at that.
No, they are ugly, and yeah, and big
Yeah.
ones I do make an effort to stay away from.
Yes, I do the same. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of large arachnids, but I think there's a shared. It's a shared fear, I think, because throughout the years we've seen movies like Tarantula from the 50s that had to do with giant spiders kidnapping women or probably eating them.
Yeah.
Uh, Fast forward, the Doctor himself has encountered spiders from
Yes,
Megavius
yeah.
3.
A whole planet of them.
Yes, intelligent spiders.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then further ahead, there was arachnophobia
Mm.
with John Goodman. So there's all kinds of phobias, but everybody seems to know arachnophobia. That's one of the more common ones. But getting back to the episode, so our three main characters, Yuriko, Jun, and Ippei, they are coming back from a party with other people, and they get lost in the fog, and they're looking for shelter. Hey, one of them sees a light, but no problem. There happens to be a... Sorry, it's giving me a hard time, this thing.
Yes, they seem to come across a British manor.
Yes, exactly, yes. Cinch in the middle of somewhere in the Japanese swamp.
Yeah.
So say decide, hey, let's go in. It's like, no, don't go in there. Don't be doing that. 'Cause I think two people in their party have fell in a swamp and now are getting some sort of like sickly symptoms of pneumonia. Now they go in there and they find out that the mansion is actually empty and is covered with spiders. And one guy does find a knife that we'll see a little bit later on. One of them does remember there was a tale or an urban legend that there was this baron that was really into spiders and actually collected spiders, and he had the spiders live with him at his home. The baron did have a daughter. Unfortunately, the daughter was bitten by one of his spiders and fell into a swamp and drowned and then died. And apparently the legend goes that both the baron and the daughter got reincarnated into very large spiders who are now just happen to be in the same mansion they're in.
Yeah.
So they're being stalked by these giant spiders. And they are able to escape. That knife that we saw earlier has it, and hey, good shot. He's actually able to throw the knife into the spider's, I guess, thorax, I guess.
Yeah.
They do get away, but I don't want to give away too much. But yeah, the episodes aren't, I don't think they're on YouTube, but they are on Tubi.
I believe it is on YouTube. I watched it on YouTube. I have I think you gave me the DVD set, but it was just more convenient for me to watch it on YouTube. The whole series is on there. And like you mentioned, Tubi and all those streaming channels like that.
Yeah, they I've watched the entire series of Ultra Q, and this is probably my favorite one. I just thought it was just really well done. It was just kind of more. This one had more of a horror vibe than a sci-fi vibe. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah, haunted mansion, very creepy. At night in the swamp, lost.
Yep, dark. There's nobody there. There's a lot of there's a wine cellar, which was kind of nice, but if you don't mind brushing all the webs off everything, but
yeah, lots of spider webs. No electric lights, so you have to light things with a candle, which was something that happened in The Witching time as well.
I believe you're right. Yes, I believe you're right.
Yes.
Ultra Q is available, I think, from the fine folks at Mill Creek. They've done on Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice, nice packaging.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And I love how the beginning of after they show you the title card, they kind of cut to this like surf rock, kind of like not the Twilight Zone.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just.
I'd forgotten. Yeah, of course, Ultraman has sort of a surf theme, and so did Ultra Q. Definitely very cool.
It does, yeah, it does. Ultraman would come not too long after this, but I think this aired from 1966, 1967, and I think Ultraman debuted somewhere, I want to say late 66, and that was a huge hit. But this was popular too back in the day.
Yeah.
Ironically, the series was dubbed in English, but I don't think it ever got released anywhere. Which I thought was strange. It's like, why go trouble of dubbing it and then not do anything with it? It just feels weird.
Yeah, and I read that I didn't realize that there was like a more recent Ultra Q show that
Yes,
came
yes,
out
there
in the
was.
2000s. Ultra Q
Yep,
Mystery, was that what it was called?
that sounds right. Yeah, I did see a glimpse of it, but
I think it was also on YouTube. So yeah, something worth checking out.
yeah, I mean, I'd recommend folks to check both these episodes out. The both, Hammer's. Sorry, it's kind of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Hammer's House of Horror.
Hammer, yeah, the Hammer House of Horror, I believe.
Hammer House. Okay, yeah, it's my first time. I definitely know about Hammer films, but did not know there was a series until you told me about it, and I thought it was very, very good.
Yeah, I've
And
seen some of the other episodes. Some of them are more downbeat than this one. Unhappy endings,
yes,
high production values, pretty scary. People getting messed up in the English countryside by monsters, demons, witches, what have you.
yes. Take your pick, witches or giant spiders. Take your pick.
Yeah.
Witches.
Yeah, probably.
Witches, yeah, because I don't really I just don't like spiders. Never did. I mean, the little ones I can take, but if they're like about well, that size probably would have a heart attack if they're about the size that they were in this episode. But even ones I've seen, like ones in New Jersey, but as big as my fist, and
Yeah, I've seen some big ones in New Jersey.
yeah, it's just like, but yeah, just I know I'm not alone because I couldn't really find which animal people are most afraid of, but usually every list, usually spiders at the not maybe if not the very top, then at least the top three,
All right.
maybe top two.
All right.
Yes,
So,
I recommend
yeah.
everybody watching to see both these episodes. They're both very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, watch out for those spooky Halloween spiders. You ever see a video of someone? It's like a prank video where some people dress up their dog in like a tarantula costume and send them
Oh
running after
wow!
people at night.
Ugh.
So
I
people
have
might just
not.
be.
That sounds wow.
It's
Okay.
pretty hilarious. It's you could tell how someone could get very scared because people walking across a parking lot or some maybe a college campus at night, and this
Yeah.
giant spider comes running at them, and it's a dog dressed up in a tarantula costume with legs kind of bouncing. It's pretty hilarious.
It is just, but I like wow. Dead at night, and you're having to see this like spider about the size of a dog
Yeah.
walking down the street. Just no, I was actually at Spirit Halloween not too long ago, and they had like a giant spider for sale for your home. But what I didn't know,
Of
it was
course, yeah.
sensory it was sensory operated. Like, so when
Mm.
you get close to it, it actually moves towards you. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
whoa! So just kind of like dodged out of the way, but was not expecting that at all.
Yeah. I went to Spirit a few weeks ago. They have all kinds of that motion detector stuff.
Ghouls and goblins, the spider though,
Mhm. Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, things that lunge at you.
But I guess the one thing I couldn't put my finger on is just the way. Not only are they kind of ugly, but also it's just the way something about the way they move too. I think is
Mm.
kind of almost like how how crabs kind of move too. It's like what is so unsettling about the way spiders move?
Sure. Yeah. And yeah, spiders and crabs are pretty closely related.
They are, yeah. Just the way they just watching them move, just I don't know, something about it. Just
All right. Well, we got some time before Halloween. I have an idea for another spooky episode before
all right.
we get to the end of October. So thank you for joining us for our exploration of horror television examples from two small island nations. Thank you for joining
Indeed.
me, Jim.
No problem, man. It was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun doing this.
Good. All right. Great to see everyone. Have a good night.